Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the September 24th, 2019 Governing Board meeting of the South Florida Water Management District. I'm going to take a poll right now to see who we've got on the phone. Mr. Martinez, are you there?
I'm here.
Thank you. Ms. Meads?
I'm here.
Colonel Roman?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Bergeron?
I'm here.
Vice Chair Wagner?
I'm here.
Great. And in the room, we have Mr. Steinley, Mr. Olipich, and myself. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to hold a public hearing on the adoption of the district's final millage rate and final budget for fiscal year 2019-2020. We're going to say the pledge, and I'll lead. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tia, do we have any agenda revisions?
None, Mr. Chair.
Great. And this is a public hearing, and if there's any public who would like to say anything, we'll take public comment now.
I have none.
Thank you. Ms. Heater, who's our Administrative Services Director, you can take us through the budget.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. This is the second of two public hearings required by Chapter 200 Florida Statutes, TRIM, to adopt millage rates and a budget for fiscal year 2019-2020. The first public hearing was held Thursday, September 12th at 5:15 p.m. This evening, staff will request 3 actions: 2 resolutions for the adoption of final fiscal year 2019-2020 millage rates, 1 for the Okeechobee Basin and 1 for the Big Cypress Basin, 1 resolution adopting the fiscal year 2019-2020 final budget. There are strict statutory guidelines that must be followed in adopting final millage rates and budget. The first substantive issue to be discussed is the percentage increase in millage rates over the rolled back rates necessary to fund the budget, if any, and the specific purposes for which ad valorem tax revenues are being increased. With the rates adopted by the governing board in July and earlier this month at the tentative budget public hearing being at the rolled back millage rate, there is no increase in ad valorem taxes to be discussed pursuant to the statute. The final millage rates for the Okeechobee Basin are as follows. District-wide, 0.1152 mil at the rolled back rate. Okeechobee Basin, 0.1246 mil at the rolled back rate. Everglades Construction Project, 0.0397 mil at the rolled back rate, for a total combined Okeechobee Basin millage rate of 0.2795 mil. In the Okeechobee Basin, 15 of 16 counties, these rates represent $27.95 per $100,000 of taxable value. The final millage rates for the Big Cypress Basin are as follows. District-wide, 0.1152 mil at the rolled back rate. Big Cypress Basin, 0.1192 mil at the rolled back rate, for a total combined Big Cypress Basin millage rate of 0.2344 mil. In the Big Cypress Basin, Collier, and a small portion of mainland Monroe counties. These rates represent $23.44 per $100,000 of taxable value. Mr. Chairman, I turn the meeting back over to you prior to considering the next 2 resolutions on millage rates.
Thank you, Ms. Heater. Are there any board members who have questions? All right, let's move on to consider the resolutions.
The staff considerations are outlined on this slide, and each must be separately voted on. For consideration of Resolution 2019-0932, adopting the final millage rates for the Okeechobee Basin, and separately, for consideration, of Resolution 2019-0933, adopting final millage rates for the Big Cypress Basin.
Okay, so we've got two resolutions. We need to adopt them separately, and I think we're going to do this with a roll call vote just to make it easier, so we know where everyone stands. So the first one, I need a motion and a second on Resolution 2019-0932.
I'll make a motion.
This is
Second.
Cheryl Needs. I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion by board? If not, we're going to go ahead and vote, starting Mr. Steinle. Aye. Mr. Lipich.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Mr. Bergeron.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Ms. Meads.
Aye.
Colonel Roman.
Aye.
Vice Chair Wagner.
Aye.
Thank you. The ayes have it, and the motion passes unanimously. The second resolution we need to look at is 2019-0933 for Big Cypress Basin. I need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion by the board? Hearing none, we're going to call the question individually again. Mr. Steinle.
Aye.
Mr. Lipich.
Aye.
Mr. Bergeron.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Ms. Meads.
Aye.
Colonel Roman.
Aye.
Mr. Wagner. Or Vice Chair Wagner.
Aye.
And I'm an aye also. That motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the revenue and expenditure budget.
This portion of the presentation pertains to the fiscal year 2019-2020 final budget amount of $989,796,654 to be considered tonight for both revenues and expenditures. This is an increase of $17,500,000 in state appropriations for the alternative water supply funding through DEP. This slide represents the revenues for fiscal year 2019-2020 final budget. To highlight, Avalorem and state sources make up 72% of your revenues. This slide illustrates your fiscal year 2019-2020 expenditures by program, highlighting 88% of the budget continues to support restoration, operations, and maintenance. I'm pleased to announce we received no comments or written disapprovals from the Executive Office of the Governor or the Legislative Budget Commission. Pursuant to Section 373, 536 Florida statutes, the Governing Board may proceed with final adoption of the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. Mr. Chairman, I turn the meeting back over to you prior to considering the final budget adoption resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Heater. Are there any board member questions for Ms. Heater? I would like to say thank you very much for coming up with a nice, easy number of 989.8 to remember, so we all now know what our budget is. All right, you can proceed.
The staff presents for consideration Resolution 2019-0934, adopting the final budget in the amount of $989,796,654.
Thanks. I need a motion to adopt fiscal year 2019-20 final budget resolution 2019-0934.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Bergeron moves.
That's good.
I'll second it.
Vice Chair Wagner seconds. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and poll the board individually again. We'll start. Mr. Steinle?
Aye.
Mr. Lipich?
Aye.
I am an aye. Mr. Bergeron?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Meads?
Aye.
Colonel Roman?
Aye.
Vice Chair Wagner?
Aye.
Thank you. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted unanimously.
Before we end, I would like, again, I know that I thanked everybody at the tentative, but this is the final stretch. So I would be remiss not thanking our executive team, our board members, and our staff, our budget staff, for making this all happen and for giving us such a fabulous budget to start with October 1.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Heater, to you and all your staff who are, I don't know if the audience, anyone on the cameras can see this, but we have a full room of budget staff, so it's nice to see you and I applaud you. And whoever made the brownies, they're very good.
Michelle.
Michelle, thank you.
Well, I'd like to say that I want to thank staff, great job, and want to thank our governor for giving us all these great opportunities to make a difference for 8.7 million people here in South Florida, and all of the funding for Everglades restoration. I believe I'm correct in saying it's the largest budget that I've ever seen as far as our Everglades restoration projects moving forward. Save one of the natural wonders of the world.
Well said, Mr. Bergeron. Does any other board member have anything they'd like to say?
Just thank you.
Great. In that case, we're going to go ahead and adjourn. Thank you all.
Thank you.